Dan Horn.
Eva Karlstrom.
Scott Meredith.
Larry Hokenedel.
Elaine Woodhurst Slope.
Jerry Ogburn.
Posting of the agenda was?
On Thursday, October 17th.
Minutes. Do we have approval or denial of minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed. Minutes approved. Communications. Any public comments? 3 minutes limited per person. Is there a Margot? Or Evinger? Or a representative? Okay. Any written communications? No written communications. Reports. Reports from the board. No reports from the board. Staff reports.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Since she is not here, the representative, there is a concern expressed about the location of the children's zone, the bouncy toys at VillageFest. The concern is coming from the 300 and 400 block north of the event, from Alejo to Amado. I understand their problem. It's because when people are walking from the south towards the north, they have these huge sinking Titanics or whatever. I don't know what the plural of Titanic is, Titania or something, in the street, and they can't see the stores, and they turn around and walk back. And they've shown they have noticed a drop-off in sales, which may be partially attributable to that. So I talked to her today and suggested that we address it today at the meeting and propose a relocation of those down to Tockwitz that would take effect this Thursday. It would be set back on the west side of Tockwitz behind the dining deck where Vintage Marketplace used to be, and we have a new Alaskan fish market going in there. We'll try that as an interim site. It may require a generator on the part of the vendor, but ultimately, once the construction on the parking structure is in fact completed on schedule on November 27th, we can relocate it down to where it was originally on the south end of the event at Bristow. And that would be our recommendation, that we do that and we take a very positive action and do it this Thursday. That's into that report. Be happy to answer any questions or...
So it would be roughly November, end of November is what we're looking at when the parking structure would be completed. Then we could relocate them
That's
at
correct.
that time.
That's correct.
To the
Yeah.
Barristo
Yes.
area. All right.
On the east side of Bristow.
East
right?
side. So we don't have to make a motion on that. That's just a matter of
I don't
relocation.
Believe, I don't
is what it
believe
is.
so unless
It's
you have
not-
unless you have a problem with that. I mean, that's typically a...
How will it affect the amount of booths going up to Amado?
Well, I think what Elaine is expressing is she needs that space in the near future.
So the booths will still continue up to
Yes.
Amado?
Well, they may not immediately, but they are starting to fill in that area.
We're already filled to the English pub. So it's only that little loop I need to make.
Your filthy English pub, you mean to Hair of the Dog
Yeah.
right now? So when,
Correct.
if you move everything, the fair will only come up to Village Pub, like starting Thursday?
Well, I can space them out, so we'll have a space in between, so it won't look like it's just boom, stops there.
Yeah, that's-
Actually, this week, we're going to be having the skate board exposition. So it'll actually, and with us moving the bouncies out, it'll go all the way up. It'll give Jared, which
That
he'll be
pros-
happy, a lot more.
That prompts me to think about possibly using that end of the block at times for community involvement,
Yeah.
things like that would be a nice draw.
We've tried that in the past, and I think that's a good thing to look at again.
It would be a perfect place because it's in the center of town between the 300 block and the 200 block.
I just think we do need to be sensitive to the people at the perimeter of the event and blocking views to their stores. I know that it's tough filling that area. Traditionally, the event is already, as you know, has sort of run out of gas up there, so to speak, and it's been weak, but I think we do need to look at an anchor up there.
Yeah, well, the 300 block's looking really good, and when you're driving south on Palm Canyon, when you see those big things, It's kind of ominous.
Yeah, it is.
also.
It's a little scary.
It's like, what's down
At
there?
least it scares
It looks like
me.
some sort of monolithic
Right. Yeah.
thing, like when that Titanic sank.
Well, it's really going to have some problems fitting in Tahquitz too, because the only thing that saves us there is that the Oasis Hotel is closed, and we can move it back there, and the Desert Fashion Plaza parking lot is not, we're not blocking any businesses there right now at the old Bank of America building.
Right.
So.
But it can't stay there.
But that could be an interim location till the end of November, and we can put it back. It seemed to work out pretty well down on Baristo and didn't really offend anyone.
And there's a closed building right down there now,
Right.
too.
Sort of the same scale as the Titanic.
Yeah, I'd like to see the north end of the event more, for community events or things of that nature. Even like there's music up there too from the Hyatt. So
Right.
I
Yeah,
think
it's always been a push to get that street filled all the way, and that's one of the reasons I think that the toys were put up there.
right,
because
especially in the summer, it's a draw when
Yeah,
there's nobody.
exactly.
But
So-
well,
But I think, my recommendation is that we move in a positive way, move quickly, and recognize their concerns.
yeah, as long as you can space them out and make it, pretty
Yeah.
much fill the street, that'd be great.
Okay?
It's okay with me. Do we need to make a motion?
Nope,
No.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
not unless you don't get along, not unless you don't agree with that.
Everybody agree?
Sounds good.
The move is on.
The
Sounds
move is
good.
on.
idea.
All right.
Everybody should be
Support our
happy.
businesses.
So, if you're looking for the Titanic this week, it'll be in a new location, or
You'll
whatever.
be sinking at Tahquitz and Palm Canyon this week?
West Side, yeah.
West Side. All right. Well, thank you very much for that report.
I have another report.
Another report.
Yes, I'm just full of reports today, or whatever. Many of you saw, I'm sure, the article in the Desert Sun this summer on comparing the number of events and festivals in the valley. And there were some quotes made in there that may have caused some concern. They were factual, as it turned out. In terms of reporting the profitability or lack of break-even thereof of VillageFest over the last 2 years. And the numbers I confirmed with Tom Canar, it said that last year, and I won't quote the numbers to the penny or whatever, but basically last year, the loss at VillageFest was about $40,000 for the full year. Previously, that was about $17,500. So there was a jump last year. Traditionally, through the event, we usually see a loss of $10,000 to $12,000, I believe, if you look at the long term of the event. So the last 2 years have been a little tough. Of course, one of the reasons for that is we lose very rapidly during the summer because of the number of vendors, and it still takes the overhead to run it. So there is an expectation. We try to break even, as you know, on the event, but it's increasingly difficult with our steam cleaning equipment and costs and the full being open year-round, which is a profitability concern. But I called Tom Canar, our finance director, and I said, how are we looking this year? And he compared it to last year. As we said, last year the total loss at the end of the year was $40,000. Last year, expenses and revenues showed a loss of $42,000 in the first 3 months, which makes my point. The first 3 months, the event lost $42,000. By the end of the year, it was $40,000. So even in a bad year, it broke even the rest of the year.
You said
The-
the beginning of the year. I'm sorry, the fiscal year or
You-
January?
I'm
Fiscal
sorry,
year.
fiscal year.
Okay, so it is the summertime.
July, August, and September. I'm sorry. This year, I'm pleased to report that loss has been cut in half. So after July, August, September of this fiscal year, we have expenses of $74,764 and revenues of $53,253, or a negative of $21,511. So I think with prudent management through the rest of this fiscal year, we can come to break even or very close to it, and that's what we'll try to do. But I thought the article, perhaps in some people's minds, might have raised a red flag saying, well, here's an event in the last 2 years they're bathing in red ink, and I think last year certainly was. The year before was not our typical year, but it was a little bit off. This year we're doing a lot better, and I think Elaine gets some credit for that, or a lot of credit for that, and we need to, all of us, stay on top of the situation so we don't become a burden on the economy, shall we say.
What are the factors that it's doing better? Is it more?
Didn't have a 9/11.
Is
I
that,
think that's kind of begun to wear off a little bit. I mean, the fear of that.
so there's more boosts in the summer, and or just better management of, like when we did cut the police, or
Typically, vendors come back the middle of September. Of course, last year we know what happened, so we didn't get it. We didn't get
Right.
it until January. This year, we've already got them coming back the middle of September. That's why it's filled as far as it is. And then we did cut police,
So it's
you know,
just
within controllable funds. And plus, we've changed the setup crew now, starting last week. So it's straight time instead of time and a half. So it should look a lot better this year with all those factors put together.
good. That's good, because I'd hate to see VillageFest stop in the summer again or anything like that.
Yeah.
'Cause it's really viable in the summertime. It gives us another Saturday night.
Then what's our steam cleaning expense? That's been the last 2 years, that expense we've incurred?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so that's part of our deficit is with the
Yeah,
steam cleaning.
Because Village Fest was actually, as an event, contributing to the problem of the dirty
Right,
pavers and
right.
sidewalks and so on. So recognizing that responsibility, the event has paid for that, which is a cost that was never anticipated
Right.
at the beginning of the event.
All right. Any more reports?
I'm done.
That's all? All right. Any reports from the public? No public reports. So we'll go to the Jerky Hut. Now, where does this gonna come into play? Okay, we're not gonna bring it. Okay. Jerky Hut.
Brian?
See here.
Do you know they're here?
He called me on the phone. So is there a jerky vendor out here? Well, he called me on the phone. He wanted to come back to the board. It's like, okay. All right. I'm just saying, I don't know. He called me, wanted a better explanation. It's like, okay.
Okay, so we'll move along now. We'll go
know
on
what
to
to tell
the applicants now for consideration
I
and
just
review.
try to do the best I can.
Our first one tonight or this afternoon, will be Jacob Dominguez.
First time here, what do I do?
Did I
You-
pronounce that correct?
You forgot to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
First to be crucified.
Yeah, when we call you up, everybody come up right to where he's at and state your case.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do you have questions for me?
They want to see what you want to sell at Village
Oh,
Fest. Yeah.
okay.
They have a lot of questions for you.
All right. I have brought some color brochures so that I will pass around so that you can see my product. It's gourmet seasonings, and it's the one and only here, Riverside County. Very exclusive. Also have some pictures here of my
We'll do it next. We'll do it next.
Pictures?
my health permit.
Are you bottling this yourself?
No,
Or
sir.
what do you do with the contents of this?
I sell it.
Okay, you just sell it.
Yes. My product does not require State Board of Equalization or for resale because it's a spice or a salt, and it's indicated there, a letter I have from State Board of Equalization. My health permit.
How long have you been selling this?
2 years in Orange County Marketplace, 2 years in San Diego, and I'm gonna try, see if I'm accepted here. I'm tired of driving, and I'm a resident of India. I've been here all of my life since 1934. I've seen the area grow, so actually I belong to one of the sister cities here.
What we have is partly a problem here with prepackaged food. Which we typically do not allow. That's why I was asking you what you had to do with any of the components as far as making it, or
It's my formula, and it's packaged for me in Thousand Oaks by Dean and Debbie's.
Do you have this on internet or anything?
No, sir.
It's your formula.
Yes, it's my formula.
So you're the only
Like what?
I'm the only one. I have it in 3 spaces. One in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, which is the second Sunday of the month. I have one in Orange County Marketplace, San Diego at Kobe Swap Meet. I'm trying to get here. That's it. You won't find this product anywhere in any store
So
at retail level.
this is your own formula,
Yes, and somebody packages it for me.
and someone packages
Yes,
it for you.
that company called Dean and Danny's at Thousand Oaks, and it's been approved by the health department.
Well,
so I
so
don't
Dean
know.
and Danny's, is that you?
No, I'm Jacob Dominguez.
Well, if it's your product, this is just a commercial name?
Just a commercial name, yes. There's 2 partners in there, myself and another guy.
Part of it works, but part of it doesn't. I don't
What
know.
part doesn't work, sir?
Well, we have not approved prepackaged commercial goods like this.
Mhm.
But nonetheless, it's
Well, it's a brand new product here in the city. I'm sorry, excuse me.
You what?
No, they were talking, so I didn't mean to interrupt.
they're making that themselves.
my issue's the overall look. It's very commercial. It just, it's an arts and crafts fair. I'm not quite sure how I feel about just the overall packaging, just based on the event and the look of the product. We've never had anything like this before that I know of.
It's a unique product. People will come back and dig.
I'm sure it's very good.
Well, it just,
It's an
it just
asset. I
does
think it's
not
an
fit
asset
our,
to the-
I don't think it fits our rules and regulations either. I make a motion that we decline under the rules and regulations of VillageFest.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's really good,
Thank you.
Yeah. We're gonna do a added starter right now. I need a motion.
Make a motion to have an added starter?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None?
Jared?
Thank you, gentlemen, for
Where
your
is this?
consideration.
Thank you.
Okay, the first part of this is, I'll read the letter from, it comes from Scott Meiskell, which actually he's the employee that's in charge of the Parks and Recreation Commission. So I'll read this letter, and then Jared's gonna have the second part of it. Okay? It says, Dear Village Fest Board of Directors, on behalf of the Parks and Recreation Commission, I am requesting your endorsement and permission to use the Village Fest venue on October 24th to assist in raising funds for the proposed Palm Springs Skate Park project. We have scheduled a professional skating demonstration for the local kids during Village Fest on Thursday. We are trying to gain awareness and support for our project from the local youth community by doing this. As part of the demonstration, we would like to have a small booth in the area to distribute information and fundraising flyers on the new skate park to passerbyers. Parks and Recreation Commissioners will be staffing the booth and are hoping to attract a few donors to the project in hope of bridging the final funding gap. Your support and endorsement in allowing us this one-time opportunity would be greatly appreciated. Sincerely, Scott Myskill, Director, Parks and Recreation. Okay, so he's asking for the demonstration and then a booth for the commission. And then Jared has some other issues that we need to address,
Yeah. Hello.
which is the map that you have right here.
Right.
Yeah, I had that drawn by an artist. What it is when they first came to me about having the demo, I told them that whenever we have that, if we want to keep the price down and stuff, we'll let the sponsors of the skateboarders come out. We did it down in Palm Desert, and they had each of them has a little booth, you know, and they hand out like brochures and free T-shirts to the kids when they come by and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, whatever you guys do, that's what we want." And
Something like at a skate show, like when you go to a show.
yeah, but it's they're not selling anything. It's just free stuff for the kids. And then afterwards, the pros go back to the booth and they stand there and sign autographs for the kids and stuff. And now I'm hearing that each person from each company would have to be approved through this, and we don't have time for that. I thought it was okay. Like
How many companies are there?
Like 5 or 6.
And they won't be selling anything?
No.
Will they? What do you know? What who the companies are and what they're going to be selling? Or I mean,
They won't be selling
giving
anything.
away
Well, we
or
could do
promoting.
like a blanket.
What it is when Jared came in, because we've discussed it a couple times. So he came in today, and we were looking at putting the booths within the skate demo area.
But now it'll be probably over in this area.
Yeah, we'll probably move
Yeah.
north a little bit, but I mean, this was what we had started off with.
Right.
So, and actually, this is going to be totally parade barricaded. So
Mm.
during the demonstration, nobody's going to be able to get in there. And then after the skaters get done, which would be an hour or two of demonstration, then the kids would be allowed up into this section. So actually, it's very designated, kind
So
of like,
no spectators can come in this area.
none at all during the
So
demonstration.
they'll be standing on either side, kind of thing.
And along here,
You're
this is the
right.
sidewalk, this is the grassy area. Yeah, they'll be standing all around, well, probably not here, but all around here.
But all the booths will be skateboard oriented.
Yeah.
There won't be any like health products or anything like
No.
that. Okay.
They're actually the.
They don't worry too
they're
much
the-
about
they're the-
that.
I've seen that before. that's
Yeah.
why I'm
They're
asking.
actually the sponsors of the skaters, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, each company sponsors
I mean, these
a
are the
I'm all
skater.
for it.
Okay, these are the people that are bringing our ramps, bringing the pros. They're the reason the kids are
Right.
coming. I don't want to let them down.
Right.
I don't let
I'm
anybody
all
down.
for it. I'm all for anything that like is community oriented like this,
Yeah.
and the kids will love it. Bring lots of kids.
So we're also a family-orientated type event, so whoever the sponsors are, they're aware of.
Yeah, they're here. I mean, they want to make the parents happy.
Trojan's not coming or anything,
No,
right?
I've been to
Just kidding.
I've been to skate shows and I've just seen like girls in bikinis giving out vitamin packs and
Don't worry.
stuff
They're
like
so
that.
fun, those skate things.
Yeah.
Last I've been to a couple myself.
And
You gotta
then
come to ours.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I make a motion
So
that we
there's-
accept the booze,
So you wanna,
Whatever.
do you wanna just do a blanket one?
Yes,
I mean,
I
so
think
instead
so.
of doing 2 motions, okay.
because I'm sure that being recommended by city and with your thing, that it will be all up to code. And we need to get this skate park built.
Mhm.
So, under the rules and regulations of VillageFest and your supervision, and I'm sure the city staff, that'll be for the one night, Thursday.
I'll
Yeah.
go ahead.
So that's this Thursday?
Yeah. 24.
So the word, I want to get the word out to everybody now that this Thursday's a skate demonstration. So you get a little.
Larry will give demonstrations.
Yeah, of what not to do.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Good luck.
Okay,
See
thanks a
you on
lot, guys.
Thursday. Have fun.
I'd love to see more events like that on the end of the street.
Yeah. William Dixon? You ready to go? Anything else?
We'll do these now.
Hi. Mine's just original oil paintings. So I just brought some samples of what I've got.
Great.
But I got a card for the website that they're all on, so I'll leave those with you. Show you what I've got here.
Are they commercially available?
Yeah, the originals, yes. If you order from the website.
There would be prints from the website, or?
Well, that's what it's going to be, but at the moment, just the pictures are on show.
But it's
Just
all
the
your
originals.
artwork.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
just see
yeah.
what you're all.
I got, well, I kind of work in two styles because I try not to get hooked into one style and one subject. I do a lot of rock paintings. Took the cave.
And you're a resident of Palm Springs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is one where I put the cave paintings on the rock walls. Usually, it's just one of the Indian ones. Then I work on still lifes too. It's a similar style too. This is just the one with the rock there. And then I've only got this is palette knife and brush. These two, and this one. This is rag and brush. This is the second style. This one I got frames for. These are unfinished frames which are just painted and distressed, so they so I don't actually make the frames, but I paint them, you know. This
So
is the second style.
You'll have original works and lithographs at your booth? Or
No,
just,
just
origi- just
originals.
originals?
Because the lithographs were going to go onto the websites, which is none of them are signed because they're going to be printed, maybe. But if I sell them before I print them,
Oh, I see.
I mean that's kind of a dream is to get them revenue from prints. But I don't know. Oh, I get
Well, you can have lithographs at VillageFest as long as they're signed and everything, and you have some original works in your booth as well.
Oh, you can. Yeah, that's something I got to get going on, but I haven't done it. This is the same as these. These two, these are in the old wood frames. This is a rag and brush. So I got two styles, and I try and vary the subject matter. You know, I got.
You sign.
I sign them when I sell them because printing them with a signature on you gotta.
These,
Yeah,
you don't sign your originals?
I do sign them. Yeah, but if
They have
if
to
they're
all-
sold. Yeah.
We ask that they all be signed.
Yeah. So if I get a print plate of it for Giclées, and then I sign it. That's why none of these is. I haven't signed any of these.
So those are already signed, that's what he wants to know.
Yeah, no, these aren't signed. Because I got to get a plate of them first.
I think
onto a
what he
disc.
said is if he sold one, he'd sign it right then.
Yeah,
I don't-
but I can get plates of them first and then sign
Well, if you
these.
have them, I think if you have a booth at Village Fest, then they have to be signed.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they're stating that they're your original works.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, I make a motion that we accept William, what is it, Dixon?
Dixon.
For his art under the rules and regulations of Village Fest.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed? Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. I got these business cards for the prints. There's a few here, so. But that's. Thanks.
Tapestry and lace. Dell art on granite, DLE.
Show laser etching?
Dell.
Hi, I'm Teresa Johnson.
Hello.
Hi. We have a office over here in Palm Springs off of Research Drive. And we do laser etching on stone, wood, glass, acrylic, many forms where we take photographs like such as this and put them on marble or, you know, whatever somebody wants. So we take photographs and manipulate them in the computer and then laser etch them in our office. And people order, you know, special pieces, or else we also make mural pieces and coasters and stuff like that. There's us doing the process, doing the computer graphics, the raw materials, and special pieces. And like this, we do, smaller pieces, large pieces, and people can order them. And we also have set pieces that, like such as this, where we have eagles, or Palm Springs, the scenery in the mountains.
Could you pass some of those around?
Sure, I can. See what else I have.
So I see in your brochure here, one of the large pieces with the dolphins is will most of your booth be like artistic
Yes,
pieces, not
yeah.
so much the photograph.
Right. Well, we'll just have a couple of photograph samples out if people want to order from us. In the most case, I think. Let's see.
So you'll have
I have a flyer here, like this one with the elephants on them is a 2 foot by 3 foot piece, which we also make little coaster sets to go with them, or tile inserts if they want to have that, install that on their wall.
Are these pictures from photographs or?
These are photographs. These are either pictures we've taken or artwork that's that you can clip art or photographs that you can buy that has no what I want to say.
Copyright.
Right. They're
So like these elephants are not your photograph.
right. But we do have to spend a lot of time on doing the computer work to get them to the quality that we need to.
Are these coasters?
Yeah, coasters or tile inserts for the wall. We also hand paint. We have this in our offices where we hand paint the stone after we've laser etched it.
It lasts forever.
See, this is it's a polished surface, and that's just stone.
I mean forever.
Hmm?
I mean they last forever.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
Yeah.
It's
See, they
so
have a
wears well.
well, the same purpose, or the same way that you could never walk on a polish, you would never wear this off walking over it, especially on granite. Now, marble would be a softer material. I'd be a little bit wary about putting marble on the ground. Let's see. And it's just more of the elephants, and I think you'll have a sample of those. We purchase a lot of our materials from DeMundo's. There's our, and we've got proof of insurance for our business. A lot of our granite marbles that we keep in stock. We also do it on slate, and so it would be an artistic setup. And then if somebody wanted to custom order something, they could do that also.
Are you in any other shows or anything?
No. And everything we have is one of a kind, such as like on the one where my husband's holding up the dolphins. In there, I mean, you can hardly see it. It'll say it has our DLE, and then it's one of one. So these aren't going to be mass-produced or reproduced. Each one has its own unique character. We might use the elephant scenery again, but in a different layout on something totally different. But
What do you think, Dan?
I think it's an interesting format. I just wish that the art was a little more creative. It just seems, you go to a lot of work, it just seems like it's a little,
So what are you saying, the
Contrived.
computer did all the work?
yeah. And I don't know how to do it. I just feel like it's,
The reason I asked about the original art is because if it was your own art, like your own photographs,
Yeah.
then it would truly be
Mhm.
something unique from you as an artist. That's why I asked.
okay.
I just think the kind of the way you're doing it, it's kind of in my opinion, is kind of in a commercial way. Does that make, I know you think that that's, it just seems like you can do just hundreds of these.
Well, we could, but we don't, because everything is,
Well, that's what
is
everybody
individual.
says. And then you say that they're numbered.
Yeah, no, that set isn't. The coasters aren't,
So
but
what would be numbered?
the large
The
pieces.
large pieces?
Yeah.
And how many each
Just one
edition?
of each. We just do one of each.
That's why I asked if it was like an artistic look to the booth with larger pieces and then coasters as like a sideline kind of thing. Because those coasters would be like produced more than a
I
larger
guess.
piece. I don't know.
And the large ones, what are like the elephant?
Yeah,
And then
they're-
you want,
they're
really,
like-
what do you wanna do? And then you wanna take order to do somebody would come up to you, would you take the picture of the family?
No,
Or
they
the
would
person?
supply us with a photograph,
It
and
was more
then,
to like promote their business, I think, like.
yeah, well, that too, definitely, you know, with anybody, but, it's something where they would, bring us a photo, and, we would take it back to our office, and they'd come back next week, or we would ship it out to them for any special, orders for like the holidays.
I think that part of it, it just seems kind of, commercial. I think the pieces that, and I don't think we saw any of those, did we, the ones of yours that are numbered?
No, it's,
Cause I mean, like, what, the Last Supper, is this the ones you're speaking of?
no, but that's, just to show that we do oil paint them to, bring them. But like this one down in here, you can't see it because it has to be magnified, but our numbers.
Well,
are
see,
in
I
there.
think if you oil painted them, it'd be a different step up entirely, cause you'd be, you know, doing hand work on them.
Well, like in this case, I filled it with silver paint. This was hand done after it was laser etched. Some of them, it just
I
looks
would like
better
to,
to or not to.
personally, I think that I would like to see some of these that you're going to have in your booth that you hand paint.
Okay,
I mean, I think these little things are an entirely different story, cause I know they're just, you know.
okay.
But some of your art pieces that you're going to, and you have enough to fill a booth?
Yes.
So I don't know, would it be possible, like, next time if you could bring back some of the ones you've oil painted
Yeah, that's possible.
with colored, so we could see what they look like?
Mhm.
And
'Cause
how
I-
about, excuse me, go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I just think it's impossible for us to approve that unless we can see what it looks like. Cause that's why I kept feeling this one, I just thought this,
Yeah, no,
then
that
you
has
said,
paint in it that-
well,
yeah,
you didn't
silver
tell me
paint.
that at first, cause
Oh,
I just
oh.
thought this doesn't look like that at all. I think I'd like that for her to come back next time.
Then if they had some of their own photos
Mhm.
that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
transposing,
Mm-hmm.
That'd be an
you
entirely.
know, because I think that's part of his problem is that it's not your photo, and you're opening a book and then the computer's doing all the work of somebody else's photo. Lisa, if you had your own photo, a picture you've taken or drawn, then that's part of your creativity going onto the granite.
Okay, or the creativity of painting the ones that we've done. So-
Right, right.
Okay,
Exactly.
all right, so I come back next Thursday, or?
And the
No, next meeting.
and then you would have,
2 weeks.
like if you're only gonna do one of these, some kind of authenticity, letter of authenticity that when somebody buys one, that they're buying one.
Mhm.
I think that'd be good, yeah,
Okay.
if you could do that.
Yeah, we're on the right track.
Thank
Does that
you.
sound fair?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
I think
Okay.
it's interesting, but
Okay.
Then our
kick it
next,
up a notch.
our next meeting's November 12th, if you want to come
Okay.
back at that time.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you'll still need, contact Elaine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Pinnacle Foundation Education.
Bill Tufford here, by the way. This gives a thumbnail basically of our educational group that you're about to read. Covers a great, complete scope of human life and living. Basically, that's about it. Any questions you may have after that, glad to answer.
Is this a religious?
It hinges on common law, basically, but going back, we believe that we're trying to get our country back into common law, which is the law of our Constitution, but a very light fringe of it.
And what your booth then, you would hand out literature?
Yes, basically the literature you have there, and there is a little more in detail, and hopefully make an appointment with folks to get into it farther and deeper.
And you yourself
Mhm.
are the person that would be in the booth?
Yes, I would be the one there.
Anyone else?
What kind of literature?
Not at this time, no.
What kind of literature do you want to hand out?
Basically what you have. And I believe I have one other main point here, but it would be along the same line of thought that you have there. I only have one of these at this time, though. But I might continue to give you the idea there of the main point of it.
So this is a commercial
Yes.
venture, so you'd want a commercial booth.
Do you have actually a school? Or
Uh,
where's your base?
Basically, it's in Florida, and the experts are there to, as you can probably see on the phone calls, you can contact them 24 hours a day, or on live calls during the day or the business hours, as to supplement your education and your knowledge and to help you with any problems that may develop in the course of your life.
So there is no place for somebody to come to. Everything's over the phone?
They
Telemarket type?
the phone, and then they could come to my office, and
Okay,
which
so that's
is
what I was
actually my
getting at,
home.
an office type.
Mhm. Which would
Because
be
I
in-
don't want to get something involved where it's just a telemarket thing. Because, you know, they'll
pretty much
call
what
you
it
at
is.
dinner or, you know, when you're in a meeting and,
Well, it says here the briefly described activity is to hand out literature to advertise the educational value of the very important concepts of sovereignty and personal rights, and to help this country bring back Christianity and common law. And what you've handed us is something to eliminate debt. So,
It has many other facets besides what you're there. Those are the highlights, like I said, a thumbnail. Basically, we get into preventive health also, or have experts at the person that may be interested.
so this is sort of legal advice
Basically,
in a
yes.
roundabout way?
Yes, it's a teaching format, not of legal advice being given. It couldn't be. We have attorneys on the group, or with the group. They can also advise along that line, but at this point, or at least with myself, I'm not of an attorney nature, so I couldn't give legal advice.
Would we be in a position for liable if they give somebody misinformation, that it would come back to us? Seeing we sanctioned it?
Well, most of the time, it looks like to me that you're saying on here is that people would call one of these numbers and get help. Not you.
Yes, once they do join the group, yes. Until that time.
What do they have to do to join the group? Pay money?
Yes, yes, sir.
How much?
It would be $12.80,
$12.80.
$1,280.
$12.
Is this a pyramid?
Pardon?
Is this a pyramid?
Not really, not pyramid. You
Or
can work it
multi-level.
as a
Yeah.
pyramid if you want.
Yeah, I think we're getting in over our head on
I just would like to make a
this here.
motion that we decline this under our rules and regulations. I think it's just something that is really not a community service.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed.
sorry.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Deanna Van Hall.
Hi.
Hello.
I brought, I'm an artist. I've been an artist for 20 years. That's how I make a living. And I just moved to the desert, so I brought some of the work. I didn't bring any framed, so I just had to avoid any damage. And I brought some pieces that have been sold. Proof that it was your art. So there's a framing receipt, and these are pieces that have been sold to people. There's a brochure. It's not outdated right now, since I've
Have you shown at other venues?
I've shown, I've just moved from Northern California, so it's been mostly up there.
You moved
It's,
here at the right time of the year.
Well, actually, I moved in July.
Oh, well.
It was a shock.
That was the worst part. It
You
only
paid
gets
your
better.
dues
I
then
paid
already.
my dues, yes.
That was weather boot camp.
It really was.
It's nice now. though.
You
It's
get used
gorgeous
to it.
now, yeah.
How do you do this?
This is rice paper, which I buy, and I paint the rice paper, and then I basically cut it and collage it on. So I basically paint a background and then proceed to cover it up.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
Each one of yours then is an original piece.
Yeah, I don't sell prints.
And some of them are framed in your booth as well.
They're all mostly framed.
all
These
mostly
are sort of the less expensive ones that I can,
How much do these sell for?
these sell for 150. And then the big ones,
I fake it.
And how big are your big
the
ones?
big ones go up to like that I can actually take out, go up to about 3 by 5, 4 by 5. I mean, I have other photographs of the work, but at least you could see it in someone's home, because these are pieces that have sold.
What's your average price range?
Let's say like 2,000. If they buy a lot of the smaller ones, then of course that changes it, so it's all different.
Right.
According to,
Yeah.
so I would prefer that they buy the paintings that are bigger, but. And if anyone knows a framer in the area, it's reasonable. Who?
There are framers in the area.
I make a motion that we accept Diana Van Hall under the rules and regulations of VillageFest.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed? Welcome.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Good luck. Welcome to the desert.
Nice.
I'm totally enjoying it right now. Glad it's not July, and I can see.
It's in Northern California, just 45 minutes from here, so.
That's right.
Yeah, except for the hour wait at the airport.
No, you just climb the mountain
Yeah.
from Banning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sincerely, Emily. Emily? Okay. Just fun stuff. Cowboy Native American sculptures. Earth paper.
Hello.
Hi, how are you all today? My name is Keith Anderson, and I'm a paper maker, paper sculptor. I make paper out of recycled office paper, like the paper you have in front of you. And
Pass them around.
Yeah, pass them around. I make a pulp out of white tacking paper, then I dye it, carve a mold, and cast the pulp into the mold to get the impression. Then they're all hand painted. The prices range that I'm going to have at the VillageFest from about $20 to about $600. I've been doing it 14 years.
Are
Here's some.
you using a styrofoam mold?
No, I'm
What's
using
your
a closed cell foam mold, and sometimes I use linoleum. These are some pictures of me making it.
It's like a cave drawing. Like you just cut it out of a cave right off the raw. Is that the idea?
Yes, for the ones that I have here, exactly. You break it, you pay for it.
It was ground up private information, did you hear?
So they're $20 to $1,200 is your,
No, the lowest price piece I'll have would be about $20.
okay,
And then the higher ones that I'll have at this show would be about $600.
okay.
I make pieces as large as 4 by 6.
Where else do you show these?
All over, Colorado, Arizona, Beverly Hills, Pasadena. But I live in Yucca Valley, so I thought I'd take advantage of this show here. Sure.
They're very interesting. I mean, they're beautiful pieces. They really are.
But you are the maker and you would be at our show yourself.
Exactly, that's right.
I've never seen anything like it.
This is you with the gray beard?
No, that's actually the father of an actor, Eddie Griffin's father.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there are a lot of celebrities that collect my work. You'll probably recognize some of them in there. Sidney Poitier's wife, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Randy Crawford, Tim Reed. That particular one, I reinforced the back of it. That's why you see what you see there.
Trade.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Goes on and on. That's cool.
They're great. They're very interesting. They're different. I make a motion to approve. Keith Anderson.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed? Welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
They're
Thank you.
great.
I'll leave my cards here. In case anyone wants the artwork.
We'll come see ya.
Rosie Gurria.
Good for you. They're great. Really. Very nice.
Thank you.
Is that something with your typewriter?
Bye-bye.
Or is it with typist? Roberto Carrillo.
Wheel throne.
Afternoon. I am a potter here in Southern California as a chip and dip. Also make pitchers. This is a turquoise glaze with a wax resist technique, decorative technique. It's like a positive negative type of technique that you use. You paint the wax onto the piece when it's in this state, which is the first firing. Also do casseroles. This is my smaller one. The patterns, I designed all those myself. It's all the glazes are lead free. It's a high temperature glaze fired up to 2,300 degrees.
So you can bake in this?
Yes, it's all utilitarian, as well as a nice art piece. It's you can set it on your table when you go to potluck dinners. It's really nice.
What would something like this cost?
That one is going for $35.
That's a good
I
price.
also do
Yeah, this is
vases.
30.
Yes.
Pass them around. A lot of times people like to touch pottery. You know, it's-
Yeah, I do.
I like to see you do a nice job.
And I also do coffee mugs, sets of coffee mugs.
Is this kind of your own color glaze?
It's a glaze that I've worked with for many years. It's not my own. It is a commercial glaze. I've tried to reproduce it myself, but a lot of times it's also the technique I fired in a very clean atmosphere in my kiln. It's a gas kiln, and it's a what they call a reduction type glaze. But I fired at oxidation. I get a nicer effect to it. And I incorporate the white glaze with the turquoise, give it more of a cleaner look on the inside when you use your food and your coffee and whatever. Just,
Do you have photos?
yes. Okay, this is a photo of me at the potter's wheel and a shot of my kiln and some of my other work that I do. I do small bowls.
You've got a big kiln.
Yeah, it's a 24 cubic foot kiln. And these run around these are $8 a piece. Yeah. And I do all the work myself. I do all the glazing, throwing. I do all the handles. I work by myself. I've been.
What other shows do you?
Well, I used to do wholesale years ago. I stopped in '97 to help raise my kids. They're all my last one's now a senior in high school, and I'm kind of want to reestablish myself doing shows again. Doing your shows, it seems like it works within my work schedule with the kids and my family, and I can do some other shows besides this one. Just like I said, just getting back into it again. In the meantime, I was doing subcontract work for other shops, but I've had my studio now since 1985, and I'm just starting to get it working again.
I'll make a motion that we approve Roberto Carrillo to sell his pottery at VillageFest.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None?
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Welcome. Everything under the sun? Hi.
We didn't bring a bunch of brochures, so could you just pass this one around? This is our product line, but when I was listening to you earlier, I think I need to come up with a steam cleaning unit that can meet your rules and regs. We do body lotions and creams that we make from our own recipes. And bath salts, we do a couple of different blends, either bath crystals we do in the small tubes, and the bath salts we do in containers like this, or vacuum containers. And we do solid perfume that is in 2 different containers. One that has a nasty little piece of tape on it, doesn't want to
Do you
come off.
bottle that yourself?
Yes, we do.
Do you have pictures of you doing all?
Uh,
Around there somewhere.
of our area,
What do you mean your area?
the kitchen and the dining room and I don't know if you want us to pass.
Where do you sell right now?
We don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, this is we're just starting.
This isn't available in any retail stores?
No.
Is that your goal, to have it in retail stores, or do you just want to do shows?
Right now, just shows.
Can you
I don't
pass
know.
one of those bottles so I can
Sure.
just look at it?
Ask something like that.
cool.
Well, We have a complete line of emu oil products too that we make from scratch, and
Are you guys making these little containers?
no, I wish.
Is that chapstick or?
No, that's solid perfume. So we buy the containers empty and then very carefully fill them. We also do that solid perfume and like a balm also. And we make our own soap. We make our own soap from scratch. We do it either in a flat mold or, and a lot of our soap is molded soap. It's not just the square bars.
Do you make this book, or do you line this in, or?
No, you just get a regular photo album and then you put the outer edge on it.
You put all the stuff?
Lace and yeah. And you can do, with Christmas coming, we're gonna be getting different fabrics that you can pick out, and if they want a special one done, we can make that for them for Christmas, holidays, birthdays. And those are scented salts that we make, and then you can hang them in those little bags. You can put them on your counters. You can, we put them in our cars.
So you're just gonna be selling these like that in little
Yeah.
pouches? You're not gonna have any
Actually,
green-
we'll have the salts, all the different fragrances on the table, and then they can pick the salts they want, and then they pick their bag, and then we fill them.
And what will they be in? Buckets or?
No, just little dishes.
The Tiger Balm is a new product that we don't have in the brochure, so I brought a tin of that along. We make that ourselves.
So what does this say, contact a physician immediately?
Well, you know, nothing is really hypoallergenic. It's just a term that any company can use depending on what they want it to mean. And all of our products contain the ingredients that are in them in case there are sensitivity to any product. And we do not claim any medicinal values. Though some proponents have, you know, some of the oils that work together and have been used for years can be relaxing and help soothe tired muscles and pains, but in our category, but according to the FDA, we're not allowed to make any medicinal, but we do say on all of our products if irritation should occur. That's just, you just do that in this industry.
We also want to add kids' toys, personalized, but we didn't have time to get them made up before this meeting, so I don't know how we have to come back when those are done. We'd like to get them done by Christmas.
You look awfully commercial.
Thank
We're
you.
doing all of this and just starting
Yeah. I'm a graphic artist,
with all this big order
and we
sheet
put that
and-
together on our computers.
That's why I asked about the prospects for the future for your items because of your order sheet.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You're gonna pass those order sheets out like at your booth in case people want to reorder.
We don't really have enough brochures to pass out. We may do a small sheet, you know, a flyer, 8.5 by 11 flyer or something, to remind them what our product line is, but
We just basically set this up so that you guys can see what we have.
Are there pictures of you making it? I saw pictures of a little work area,
Mhm.
and I don't recall seeing what there was.
That basically just shows where we do it, all the bottles that are there that we fill. I mean, that's
Oh,
our
a lot of
area that we do the
chemicals that
work.
we use.
We didn't, this is our first time here, we didn't really know what you wanted.
Well, let me tell you. When I think about it, I think you go to a lot of work, but I just think it looks so commercial. I wished it looked like it was more homespun.
What
Well,
would that take?
yeah, I mean.
Because
you
we
just-
did one, I think if you remember last week or so, she had real interesting wrap on her soap that looked, it just looked, this looks so nice that it looks like
No,
you
this
could.
is this is our soap.
Yeah, you
And,
could go
and
to
then we
any
do have
store.
molded ones. We heat shrink them so they stay fresh.
See, I don't know, it just looks to me like I can just go and buy this somewhere.
Well, you can't. Well, you can. Come to the street fair. I can imagine being penalized for doing a good job on our packaging.
Well,
And then here's like the candles that she does.
Yeah, we do hand wrap candles. They can order the color, around. These are more for the holiday.
this little jar makes me real nervous.
Because I think what he's trying to say is that we're
Well, you have to
an
buy
arts and
the-
crafts show.
Yeah.
And basically, this looks like something that you just bought from a manufacturer
Well,
and
you buy the
you're
containers.
reselling it.
You buy the
Yeah.
containers and you fill them, but I mean, how else would you?
But see,
Like us to put this in.
what we try to find things that are unique and handmade
They are.
and look arts and craft. But these, the way you display those, it just looks like that. It looks very commercial. And you've done a tremendous job. You've got this, but I don't know. It looks like I can order. That's.
Well, we have so many, and they come in 8 ounces and 4 ounces, and the soaps are 3, 4, and 5
Because see, there's
ounce.
some other events that this is fine because you can sell things, but we try to be a little more crafty in our.
So you would like to see the packaging changed?
It's the streamlined look. It
Would
looks
you
like it belongs
would
in
you
a
like
store.
no labeling?
Well, the labeling I
Just the
know.
containers
Yeah.
somehow. If you go out there on a Thursday, I mean, there are some interesting ways they have, like the soap that we saw. They had a really
Well,
interesting
well, but-
labeling on it. It was wrapped. So interesting.
Like for the lotions,
So unique.
for instance. I mean, there's a lot of ways. I could buy a plain bottle and put that in, but I can't keep it sealed. Okay? And that's all well and good, but what about the customer at the end?
Well, I
You know, if
realize
they
that,
can't-
but
If
see.
they can't have it sealed, if they can't
Mhm.
have it to where it's gonna stay fresh for them, these will last about 3, 4 months, So, and then our shelf life should be 6 months to a year, some of the products. So it's the customer that benefits from the extra care that we take.
Mhm.
These come from Texas. These
Mhm.
particular containers come from a place called Starville. They're just another place just like us, only they sell the packaging. If I stick that in a regular bottle, it's just not gonna last. And I don't care what anybody tells you, it won't. We've
But see,
tested
maybe
it.
like this could be in some kind of a bottle with the sealed top and look like I was getting a handmade body care. What you call this?
Yeah, they're not.
It just
I'm
looks.
not questioning your
No, the
product.
product
It's
at
the
all.
way it
I'm not
looks.
questioning
It
that.
looks streamlined. It looks
It'd
like.
be very expensive for us to go
I
back
know
and
that,
redo
and I
packaging
know,
at this point.
and I think there's some, like other venues that probably would, I don't know, that's my opinion. Should I make a motion? I make a motion under the rules and regulation that we decline, everything under the sun, soaps and lotions, because of their,
What about her product, those products there?
well, they're different,
No, they're the same company, but do they look homemade enough?
yeah.
I mean, these are scented salts that we
Mhm.
make,
Yeah.
and then we let them pick which packaging they want, which color container they want. They can hang it from their car, is what a lot of us do, that I've given them to my friends and stuff, and that's what they do to keep their car smelling
Mhm.
fresh. You can put them in dishes in your house, and we
Now,
were gonna do
can
different.
I tell you about this little
Sure.
book? This little book is this, if you, this too is very commercial. We tell this, if you go back and look at it, we tell them every time, this is a spiral notebook with pictures, and then you cover it.
Right.
Well, if you had some other way that this whole thing looked more homemade, I mean, it would fit under the arts and crafts 75%.
Mhm.
That's our rule, 75% hand done. This, you buy this and you assemble this cute little thing. But I don't think this would fit under our 75% handmade either.
So does this not fall under 75%? What's the container? What do you consider the packaging? I mean, really, no, I'd really like to be in the show, but what is the packaging?
When I say it was streamlined, it's the overall look.
10%
It's the
or-
overall look of your merchandise. We're looking for like a arts and crafts handmade look, and your stuff looks really streamlined, like it belongs in a retail store. And it doesn't make. It's hard to understand because you've worked real hard to make it look good. It just doesn't fit in with some of our opinions in the event. Does that make sense?
No, you're not.
Thank you.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Said Angel Lorium. Angel Lorium, fine art. June's Gems.
Aye.
How do you?
Good.
I was being so professional, bring a board, now I.
We're gonna have to take it off, but it's okay, at least we can start this
No,
way.
it's actually really nice. I kinda like it.
I can even
Oh,
see
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Can you
I
see
wish
it?
more
Yes.
people
Okay,
could.
all right.
Good.
All right.
Wonderful.
And I am June Springer of June's Gems. And as you can see, this is personalized notes for you. And my cousin Marilyn Kaufman had this product down in VillageFest for about 9 years. And about a year and a half ago, her husband got real ill. And she couldn't do it anymore. And she knew I was an artist, so she asked if I would like to buy the equipment to do it. So I purchased the equipment from her.
Those are those little pink note cards.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, she had her own. She did the rose and the butterfly. Those were her artwork. And I have come up with a golf pattern, which I thought would go real good in Palm Springs, and the tennis, which I had a lot of requests for, and also the hummingbird, which I know everybody likes a lot too. So, and there's my original artwork. Here are some pictures of my studio and little packages that I've done, and that's how we do it. And then I have a picture, let's see, I cut them. This is my plastic. As you can see down there, I have my plastic bags. I seal them myself. Up there I have my parchment paper and my linen. That's how it comes to me in the raw form. And I have receipts here of the raw materials, the plastic and the paper. Now the envelope comes to me scored, and then I glue it and put it together myself. I have busy little fingers. Day and night, this is what I've been doing. So you get 10 note cards and 10 envelopes to a package. And they're $4.50 a pack, or 2 packs for $8. You save $1 if you buy 2 packs.
We have over 300 names.
800.
800,
I have
excuse me.
800 names, and
me.
what names I don't have, I take custom orders, which I could have for them the next Thursday night available.
You would have 800 names there?
I have 800 names, yes.
So they're like in little.
Yes, they're in little compartments. Here's the, like this. They have
Oh, I
little
see,
names,
I
and then
see.
I have one of each pattern in each of the names. And then I have understock under my table, or overstock, if you would, under my table.
And the artwork, you draw that yourself?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
And then what do you do? Then how do you get it onto the?
Okay, and then I have a laser printer, and
Oh, I
that's
see.
how the artwork goes on one page. Then I have a cutter, which is right there, my paper cutter. I cut it in half and fold it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And then I package it in 10. And my little fingers count
You
out
paint
10
it
of everything.
yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did all the colors. Yes.
Where else do you show these?
College of the Desert. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew, what was her wife's name? It was Sammy, and what was?
Sammy Marilyn Kaufman. Yes, that's my cousin. Uh-huh.
What was it? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Sammy.
Yes, Sam, he passed away. Yes, in April. Yes, he was a wonderful
He was a
man.
nice man.
Wonderful man, yes. But they were down there for 9 years.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your booth is just the bins. Is there any kind of artwork behind it, or you just kind of stand behind
Just
the
the
table?
bins. I stand behind the tables. The tables are right here in front of me. I stand behind the table, and they just, it's kind of like I call it the cattle call. They walk in front of the table, and they find the name, they pick it, and they pay for it across the,
It has a really cute look to it. It's not like a walking in a stationery store.
Yes.
Oh,
It has
definitely.
Yes.
a really interesting, cute.
Yes.
Even your display, it's cute. It's
yes.
Well, little names or something for people
It's
to
really
buy
cute.
something.
It's
I
a
love
great
the
little
display. You did a great
gift.
job with this.
Oh, thank you.
That's the best one I've seen so far.
Oh, thank you.
I make a motion to approve June's gems.
Thank you so
and
much.
Rules and regulations.
I'll
Thank you. I
second it.
appreciate it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I won't
Opposed?
fail you.
Good luck.
I
Thank
love
you.
that you go
Thank
for
you
the
so
tennis.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. I
much.
thought they would go really good
Are
out
you in
here.
the same space at the college then too?
Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
King's Creation.
What happened to this? They didn't show up, and the Golarium art.
I have quite a few things there, so. These are just some samples of the states being made, some of the bulbs and stuff, the flowers.
I thought, what is that?
Here, they eventually look like, that's my holder. They make the porcelain flowers.
I remember.
Here's these are the yellow, that's the bulb in the middle. Then I make the leaves, I'll show you the different parts, and then you put this part on last. And then you wrap it with, here's the different paints and stuff, brushes. This is the actual clay. This is the porcelain clay that I purchased. And to color, to get the yellow color, you just add, this is like acrylic paint. Just add it to the clay, mash it in, the clay is white.
You just mash this right here?
Yeah.
Then it'll turn soft? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah,
That-
this
that
end.
block. You
Oh,
gotta
I'm
keep it,
sorry.
uh,
Okay.
You have to keep it soft or else it, and then,
Were you here at the last meeting or meeting before
2
with
weeks
the,
ago.
in the jars?
yeah,
The-
I have
Yeah,
them
one
over
to
there.
see
This
That
type
goes
of,
see how
inside,
they
that goes
made
in
it.
the
In the
jar.
jar.
I have a finished one, I just, no, bring it, Mark. I'm just showing you the process of how I make the flowers. These are,
Oh, that's right. That was it.
where's the little- these are some, this is the petals for the rose. You press that
the
into
cutter?
Yeah, the cutter. And I use a block of wood just to push down so I don't hurt my hand. It's homemade.
See, now I'm believing you.
Okay, these are for the bottom of the flowers, the green things in the bottom.
Petals?
Yeah, well, it's not the petals, the stem, the green. This
Green
is for,
base.
yeah, that's a green. This is just the wrap that goes around. Well, the finished, this is a finished rose without the leaves. This is the green stuff
How long
that
does
you
it
wrap.
take you to make that?
Too long.
That's a good answer.
Well, since I was here last time, I made 40 flowers. I can pass some of them out if you like.
well, just a couple would be sufficient. They're all the same.
You don't, we get the.
Well, they're
pitch.
different. They're just different types of flowers.
Oh, that's pretty. It's very nice.
Now, we approved for the jars. We're
Okay.
doing that.
Here's one in the.
Okay.
You want to see
The vegetables, remember the
Right.
can, the cans, the
That's
can.
the
Okay,
finished
and we wanted to
Yeah, we
some,
just
put
didn't
the
believe
widths
you
on
made
some.
that.
Right.
Okay, just don't tilt it all the way because it does have a hole in the top. It has oil.
Right.
Very
Okay.
nice.
All right, now,
And then for the ones with the
Poisonous fruit, right?
right.
Oh, there's that.
The other
so
ones.
you turn that into a candle.
Yeah, this
Oh,
same
good.
thing. It lights the same way. And then I got the dehydrated. You want to see the drying the fruit stuff?
How'd you figure out how to leave the fruit in there?
Huh?
How'd you
figure out putting oil through?
No, that's different. That was the other ones were the canned stuff that that's a candle. That's just dried, I have dried oranges and
Well,
apples.
you really took us, you
Yeah.
were really good. You brought everything.
I've seen ornamental oil bottles in stores, and they always just have a little
And here's the-
warning on them. You know, not for ingestion.
Consumption.
So here's the lids that I
Uh-huh,
drilled.
yeah.
There's got a couple drill bits, and there's a
Thank
broken.
you.
Well, I don't think anybody's gonna eat that.
No. You said you wanted to see how I drilled.
Oh,
So there's
I
a-
believe that part.
Oh, well, there's the drill bits, a couple
They
of them
do
sheared
too.
off.
Came
and
prepared.
chips.
Doesn't want to come back again.
No, well, he brought the whole shop. Well, I think you've done,
These
All right.
presentations have been great.
yes,
Make a
I think it's
motion.
great. I make a motion. You
Okay,
make,
these-
What about these?
These are
as long as they don't have edibles in them.
No, no edibles.
What are those?
It's appropriate in there with they're oil lamps as well.
And then you just fill them with oil, and when they run out of oil, you can just fill them some more.
Exactly. Yes. The tops will come off.
Heavy candles are pretty unique with those flowers.
Yeah, they are. Well, and just to make these is just, spend a lot of time. It's very creative.
Well, me and my wife could do them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good.
That's the
Well, I
roller.
make a motion that you got everything out now?
That's it.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to do different thing. I started butterflies, but I'm not that good at it yet. So I'm working.
But that's
on it.
under, yeah, you will, that's under the same thing as the,
Yeah.
okay. Make a motion, we approve you. What are you?
King's Creations.
Creations,
I'll second it.
under the rules and regulations, King's Creations.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed?
Well, thank you for bringing all
No
this
problem.
back. It
Thank you.
just-
How much are they? Can you charge?
Well, the candles start from like $15 up to. Well, I have big ones too.
Like this one though. I mean, these are really, really nice.
That one's probably about $35.
So
That's a beautiful
Is it?
flower.
I do have, actually, it's out right outside the door, but a real large one with that's okay. If you want to see it.
I'll see it on Thursday. How about
Okay.
that?
The bigger ones are from $68, the most expensive.
Really
And how long do you think this lasts?
That one there will burn for probably 140 hours, but you
Wow.
can refill it. You just pop
Yeah.
these out, put a little
Uh-huh.
funnel in, and just fill with ultra pure lamp oil.
Oh. I really, I think you can do well.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Hey. Thank you very much for all
Maybe a
your
few of
effort.
these I made.
That's pretty neat, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's a receipt if you need for the
Yeah,
purchase
no.
and stuff.
You've got it all.
Give me a second to clean up here.
Desert Rose is next, but if you want to wait just a minute while he disassembles.